The game camera is a bit broken. Lots of elk, lots of coyote. Woo! Because it's like an onion, you peel off layers. Oh, jeez. Oh, jeez. Not good for the lower back. Well, welcome back to the channel. We are up here in beautiful northern Arizona at my 48-acre off-grid property. I got up here last night, probably about 8 p.m. So I just got a few things set up in the cabin there, got a fire going. It's a little bit cold in there, and just relaxed for the rest of the night. So it's unusually warm, and it's pretty gloomy and cloudy right now. It's pretty darn overcast, as you can see. But it's unusually warm for this time of year. We're just like 6 days from Christmas, and it's 52 degrees out here. It's really weird. All right, first things first, there's a couple things I want to do inside the cabin that have been bothering me, so let's go inside and take a look. It's not a big deal, but it's just something that's been kind of nipping at me for a while, and I'm tired of looking at it. So this little section right here where I have my TV, my surveillance, gaming system, all that stuff, it really bothers me. It's basically a cheap, basically a coffee table from Walmart I got years ago. I just don't like how this is set up. So I bought something that I'm gonna go ahead and put together and put here, and hopefully it cleans this up a bit. I'll have to raise the TV up a bit to make that work, but I just want to clean this up. I don't like it. So that's what I'm going to do first. Let's go back outside and make sure Sadie hasn't run off. There she is, right there. All right, so I went out this morning and got the game camera from the tree that I have it attached to way back there. The game camera is a bit broken. You'll probably see it in the video, but there was a lot of activity over there in the last month under that tree. And oddly enough, it wasn't cattle this time. It was elk and coyotes, a couple of deer here and there. But there was a young elk, young bull elk, seemed to have a lot of interest in this game camera and was bashing it around, and I think a larger elk came along later on and just finally did it in. But it broke the mount on the back, how I have it attached to the tree. So I got to figure out some way to fix that. But while I'm getting everything pulled out of the truck to get working inside the cabin, why don't you guys go ahead and take a look at the game camera footage? Okay, it's a few hours later, just after I put you guys down to watch the game camera footage, which, by the way, lots of elk, lots of coyote. Again, I had to filter a lot of it out because it was just too much. That whole segment of the game camera would have just gone on for, oh, I don't know, 20 minutes. Just after I turned the camera off and started working on the inside here, this weather system just moved in, and it already rained a bit earlier, and we got a whole lot more. It looks like it's coming, and it's just now starting to sprinkle again right now. I guess a pretty good use of my time inside the cabin here working on stuff, but I wasn't counting on getting any weather, so kind of a pain, but I've got enough firewood to get me through the night and the morning. Hopefully it doesn't rain tomorrow, and I really hope it doesn't rain too hard today. It's been cloudy all day. We haven't got hardly any solar in. Yeah, we're at 12.4 volts. We only got 2.3 kilowatt hours in, which is because it's been cloudy all day. And the fans are still bad on this, my charge controller. Turns out it takes 3 of them. They're little bitty things. Yeah, the charge controller takes 3 fans. I ordered them shortly after I left here last month. And like always, when I come up here, I leave with the thought of, man, I feel like I'm forgetting something. And it usually ends up being about halfway up here, I realize what I've forgotten. And this time it was those fans. And it's starting to rain, so I'm going inside. I'll have to turn the generator on later because it's just, we haven't got hardly any sun today. And we're not going to for the rest of the day, unfortunately. And I was planning on barbecuing a pizza today. I moved the barbecue over here. I was planning on cooking a pizza in there. But if it's raining, I'm not going to do it. I've got other food I can eat. I'll just have to use the microwave. The temperature is quickly dropping. It's 47 now. It was 50 like 10 minutes ago. So this is what we ended up with. You know, I'm going to turn some light on so you guys can actually see that a little better. Well, that doesn't help much. Anyways, yeah. Nice little shelf. Got all my stuff in there organized. I organized the rat's nest of wires. It's actually somewhat hidden behind it. Hundreds of feet of wire, most of which was the cables that come off the cameras for the surveillance system. Put this little stereo up here. I just bought it. Walmart. Bought the cabinet or the shelf and the stereo at Walmart. Pretty cheap. I think the cabinet was $49 or something like that. It goes together real quick, real easy. And then I got their cheap old on-brand stereo. Actually sounds pretty good. And I've got the audio from the TV into the auxiliary port on the stereo, so now I have pretty good sound when I watch TV because it comes through the stereo. Anyways, this cleans it up nicely. I feel a lot better about this. I just, man, I couldn't stand it before. It was driving me nuts. So, yep, got it all situated. And there's Sadie. She says, turn that dang light off. I'm not going to probably do much else today because it is going to start dumping here, rain, and I'm not going outside. So that'll probably be it for today unless somehow the weather miraculously clears up, which I don't think it's going to do. But otherwise, I will get back with you guys tomorrow. Good afternoon. It is the next day. The sun did come out a little bit today, long enough to just dry the ground up so I could walk on it. Still a little wet in some spots in the shadows over here, but otherwise not a big deal. I did get a very short window last night to go ahead and cook the pizza on the grill. I had about 25 minutes without rain, and I took the chance and it worked out. I forgot to mention yesterday, I did go ahead and I think I mentioned last video, I took the generator home and I went ahead and replaced the pull cord on it. Not too big of a deal getting it apart. Putting it back together was a little bit interesting because of how it all fits together, but pretty simple job. So I burned up half the day waiting for the ground to dry up. I was hoping for the sun to come out, and it did here and there. As you can see, it's behind a big cloud right now, but that should pass by here in just a few minutes, and the sun will be out once again. Haven't got much solar today, so the batteries are probably struggling. I will most likely have to run the generator later on today, but my number one priority right now is firewood. I'm pretty much out of cut firewood, and I got to get on it because it's going to be cold and I have nothing to burn, really. I wish these dang clouds would just blow on out of here. Anyways, let's get some work done. All right, I'm gonna take the tarp off the tractor and try to fire her up. All right, we're gonna let the tractor sit over here, warm up for a little bit. I'm gonna get a couple things together while it's warming up, and I'm gonna head out down the driveway and start cutting some wood. All right, so we're gonna come back to that later. I just wanted to knock it down right now. All right, well, I'm gonna start with this tree right here. It's actually got quite a bit of pretty good firewood on it. Once again, I am using good old Ryobi. My steel chainsaw. I just went and tried to fire it up right now, and it did. It fired right up on the first pull, and then it died. And then, of course, I couldn't get it started again, so I gotta go through the carburetor, I think. Probably put a new spark plug in it. But, yeah, we should get this done with the Ryobi. Might have to change out batteries in between, but we shall see. All right, I'm just gonna buck some of this up right now. In case my battery dies, I'll have some firewood. Battery's getting low. It's not. Those are some really good pieces of firewood right there. Those will burn for hours. Cool. So I'm going to take all the smaller branches that I cut off. I'm going to try to take some of those back, trim them up a little bit. I'm going to take them back because I can use all those little sticks for kindling. Okay, it looks like the camera battery's getting ready to die. Actually got quite a bit cut up here. I'm still cutting into this piece of wood right over here. The battery hasn't died quite yet, but it's down to the end. So I'm going to finish trying to cut this up. I'm going to get the camera back, put it on the charge, get a new battery, and continue cutting. Okay, it's been a couple of hours since I came back. The sun is just about gone. We got some clouds rolling in. Okay, I went ahead and processed what I had. Kindling, chopping station over there. Got a little bit left in here. And then I was peeling all the bark off of it. Makes it easier to, well, first it'll dry out quicker from the rain we had yesterday. And it burns a lot better without the bark on it. So I figure I could put some of the bark here and over time just cover this area. So when it rains, I can step on this because I don't have any gravel yet and not get my shoes all muddy. Okay, freshly charged batteries. Got the big battery. Actually, the big battery's there. Smaller battery in the chainsaw. And went and fueled up the generator because I have a feeling we're going to need to run that here in a little bit. But I've got just a little bit of daylight left. And then the temperatures are going to start to drop very quickly. So I'm going to get back out there and cut some more firewood. Okay, so we're at our next tree. The other tree is down the driveway a little ways that we were cutting at just before. I'm going to save the rest of that for the steel chainsaw because that tree's pretty large in diameter, and I don't think the Roby is really meant to cut anything that big around. So I'll just leave the rest of that for later when I have the steel chainsaw up and running. Right now we're going to cut down some of this stuff right here. It's pretty small stuff, maybe 8 inches down at the bottom. Not too big, but yeah, this is what we're going to cut down right now. And if I have any battery power left, I'm going to get back down to those trees over there that I knocked down with the loader earlier and cut some of that up. But I am quickly, I don't know if it shows up on camera, but I'm quickly running out of daylight. So for reference, it is just after 5 p.m. and it's going to be dark here in about 45 minutes. So I'm going to get cutting. All right, I think that's about all I want to cut off of this tree right now. Okay, it's getting pretty dark out here. I might leave those other 2 trees I knocked over with the loader for another day. It's going to be dark here quickly. Not bad for a couple of branches off this tree here. Not bad. I mean, that's firewood for probably 3 days in my little cabin. Nice, thicker pieces here, and then I have it classified down to the smaller stuff over here. From larger to smaller pieces. It's just, the smaller stuff is easier to get a fire going when you don't already have coals in the stove. So it's nice to start with that and then move on to the bigger stuff once the stove is roaring. Anyways, yeah, it doesn't show up on the camera. I'm looking through the screen right now. It looks like it's daylight out here, but it's almost dark in reality. So I'm gonna go ahead and just head on back and deal with this. I got in such a hurry to leave here a few minutes ago to come out here and cut some firewood. I forgot to show you the rest of the firewood that I processed from when we were over at the other tree earlier. It's inside, stacked by the wood stove. I know my metal toolbox looked a little empty. I forgot to show you the rest of it. It's inside. The cabin, sitting next to the wood stove, warming up, getting some of that surface moisture off from the rain we had yesterday. So I'll show you what that looks like when we get back. Whoa! Almost lost the chainsaw on that one. So, showed you what I had in here. Not a whole lot. Smaller stuff. That's a different tree. It came from home in southern Arizona. And then what I've got there. And this is what I have inside from the stuff we cut earlier. Why, hello, doggy. Oh, it's nice and warm in here. It's 46 outside, 76 inside. Okay, so good fire starter here. Twigs, larger stuff, get a fire going real good. And then I've got this stuff right here stacked up next to the wood stove. I noticed it was a little bit damp on the outside when I peeled the bark off. It's gotta be from the rain like yesterday. So let it sit here next to the stove. There's just some big coals. You can't see. There's some big coals in there. And you can tell it's still pretty warm in there. The fan's going. But there's no chance of this catching on fire. It doesn't get hot enough right there. Most of the heat is up here and on the top here. This has been sitting here for about an hour. And I would say it's probably, I don't know, 100 degrees maybe. I'm just drying it out. It's a convenient place to put it to load right into the wood stove when I need it. Okay, I don't know that I'm gonna get all this done right now because it's almost dark. Sorry guys, hearing critters out in the sticks. Here, you guys get to sit on top of the barbecue here for a minute. I might be hearing coyotes. It's kind of a pain, and I don't always do this. Actually, I usually don't do this, but to make getting fires going a lot easier, and it's better for your chimney and your stove and all that. It peels right off. It can be a pain, but and your fingers will get sore after a while. But it does come off pretty easily. It's when I get real picky about how much of it I'm taking off and I start digging deeper, because it's like an onion, you peel off layers. So this red color, that's not the actual tree. As you can see, it's a lot lighter inside. You got to keep digging to get down to the actual tree that's worth burning. It's hard to do it on this one right now. Some pieces it'll come right off, but this one it doesn't want to, and that's how it's been. Anyways, just keep peeling it. See, now we're getting down to the actual tree that's worth burning right here. Anyways, yeah, I'm just dumping the pieces, the slivers that I'm pulling off here right here on the ground, and then I just spread them out. It'll give me something to walk on when it's all muddy out here. You know, it won't be muddy right here. And then this will eventually break down into the soil over the years. And eventually I'll have this covered in gravel. So won't be an issue. But for now, this is gonna work out, I think, pretty good. Good use of the bark. That's pretty much it. I mean, don't have to go crazy with it, you know. Anyways, that's a good piece of wood right there. It is a little bit damp right here. So this will need to dry out some before I can burn it. Okay, I don't want to bore you to death, and it's almost dark. I'm going to do a couple more pieces, load them in there, and then I'm probably going to shut this down for the night, and I'll pick back up with you guys in the morning. Well, good afternoon. It's after 1. Slept in a little bit this morning. I was a little chilly, and got the wood stove going again in the morning. I just didn't feel like coming out here and doing anything. I wanted to kind of just hang out, watch a little TV, watch the fire, and enjoy some coffee. Well, it got dark real fast last night, and I didn't have a chance to finish dealing with my firewood, so I went ahead and finished the rest of it this morning. I didn't peel all of it, just some of it, but got a pretty good amount of firewood there, combined with what I have inside still from yesterday. Yeah, about 5 or 6 days worth of firewood there. And if I ever run out, I can just go find another dead standing tree and start chopping more wood. All right now, I'm gonna go ahead and put the tractor away in its little spot over there by the shipping container and get it covered up. And I got a little more work to do as far as unloading the trailer over here. A couple of clothes washers in there. One works, one doesn't. For now, the one that doesn't work, I'm gonna go ahead and just set it right here next to this little trailer until I come back up. I will find a more semi-permanent place for it to rest for a while, kind of out of the way, so this doesn't continue to grow into a larger junk area. So yeah, this Maytag is going to go over here, and then the what is it, Samsung or LG? I don't remember. It's going to go back where it belongs, right next to the dryer there. And then I got to figure out a way, I think I figured it out, but to attach my game camera back to the tree, or a tree, because it's broke. And I'll show you what that looks like here in a little bit. But first, I'm going to go ahead and get this tractor moved. aggressive dog. Oh, jeez. This son of a gun, Teddy. Oops. Oh no. One of the adjustable feet on the washer just pushed through the grate on my ramp. All right. Now I got this side stuck in after getting that one out. Okay, I'm gonna have to He-Man this thing real quick. Oh geez, not good for the lower back. This washer is by far heavier than that one. And that one has water in it, this one doesn't. Gosh. All right, trailer's unloaded. The hard stuff is done. Now, I need to find a place for the game camera. So something I've been putting off for a little while is my awning is dangerously close to ripping itself away from the trailer and probably damaging the side of my trailer. It is currently only held on by this little piece of strapping right there and one just like that at the other end. The rest of it's eaten through all the way. So I'm gonna take some wire, I'm gonna wrap it around this to keep it from falling forward. Okay, now there's no risk of it falling now and causing some serious damage to this trailer while I'm not here. That'll hold for a little while. Okay, so here's the game camera that I've been using. It's just a Bushnell, whatever. I don't know what model it is. 24 megapixel prime combo low glow model 119932CB. There's a couple ways you can mount these to a wall or a tree. Well, really only one way to a tree. It does come with a standard like tripod screw in right there, but it also comes with this cinch strap, and there's two plastic loops here. I wish they were metal. They go, you know, the strap goes through the loops, you wrap it around the tree, you pull it tight, and it's not going anywhere. Unless a big cow or an elk keeps pushing on it until it finally breaks, and that's what it did. This loop is broke. This one's still holding on, but it won't be very much time. So I'm gonna go figure out a way to attach this to a tree. If you guys aren't familiar with where I traditionally put my game camera, it's right back here, a little ways. That tree straight back is where I attach it. I'll show you when I get there. Okay, so here's the tree. And as you can see, it is a popular hangout spot for large animals. This is that spot right there where those coyotes kept marking their territory. And then my dog came along and marked her territory right on top of it. Anyways, so there's my camp back there. Here you can see where I've had it attached to the tree right here, and the animal's been rubbing it right through the bark. I need to put it somewhere else. I mean, if I put it up here, there's no way they could reach it up there. But all these shaking limbs and branches would set off the camera and block the view that I typically have right down here. So I think I'm gonna move the camera entirely to a different tree. I was thinking back here, a lot of shots of elk and deer that like to hang out by this tree right back here. I'm thinking cut down a couple of these branches, attach it to that stalk back there, and the critters will be less likely to get their face up in there and try to move this thing around. I'm cutting these outer ones down about up to here, because when the wind starts blowing, these things will start shaking and it'll set the camera off. Placing the branches down here at the bottom and leaving some of these pokey ones sticking out is a natural barrier to keep the animals from getting in there and messing with the camera. They like the little, there's a little red light on the camera when the night vision's on at night, and they see it and they zero in on it and they start playing with it. All right, we're gonna give that a shot. So unfortunately, I think this is what I'm gonna do. Here's the control panel. You flip the switch over and you gotta do some settings every time you do this. Otherwise it goes into some default mode and ends up taking weird pictures all the time, or who knows. But so I have to set this up before I mount to the tree, because what I'm gonna end up doing is I'm gonna close this, and then I'm gonna wrap the strap right around here and then to the tree. And that should hold it to the tree, but then I can't access my settings. So let me get that set up real quick, and then we'll get to attaching it to the tree. Okay, I got it all set up. It's now, technically it's recording right now. So let's get it hooked to the tree. Yeah. All right. I think that's gonna work. It's gonna have a nice wide angle right here. A lot of animals go that way, which is typically where we see them coming from over here, where my other tree is. And a lot come through here and go that way, or vice versa. So should be a good spot. Okay, time to head back to camp. All right, guys, that's gonna do it for this trip. I was here for about 2.5 days. Wasn't able to get a ton done because of the weather, unfortunately, but that's just the way it works up here. I got a couple of things done that I really wanted to do. And the most important thing was getting that trailer. I got some pretty gnarly work to do at home. Huge trees, massive trees in my backyard that I need to get, I'm making them go away. They're 30-year-old, 33-year-old trees. They've got to go, and they're huge. So all in all, pretty good trip. It was nice to get up here. I love it up here. It's absolutely beautiful. Even when it's gloomy and cloudy like this, it's still cool. Very cool to be up here. I have my own 48-acre paradise, so it's pretty awesome. All right, guys, if you guys made it this far in the video, I commend you. I hope you guys have a great Christmas. Spend time with family if you can. These days we're pretty distant from people, from our friends, our family, because of these stupid things right here. Anyways, have a great holiday, you guys. Have a safe but fun New Year's Eve. Have fun, but be responsible. And that's pretty much it. It's going to do it for this one, guys. Take care. Be safe. I'll see you guys in the next video.